Forget everything you think you know about chatbots. Today, we're diving into AI agents, a brand new autonomous workforce that can actually think, plan, and act on its own to solve really complex problems. And we're not just talking about a small upgrade here. This is a whole new playbook for AI.
To really get a handle on what this means, let's start with a challenge. Forget asking an AI for a pizza recipe. What if you gave a team of AIs a real, honest-to-goodness engineering task? Could a team of software agents build a working application from the ground up with zero human help? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, let's see what actually happened.
Okay, so let's meet the team. And I say team because this isn't just one giant AI brain trying to do everything at once. No, we're talking about a multi-agent system, a crew of specialists designed to work together just like a human software dev team.
So here's the lineup. First up, you've got the engineering lead. Its job is to design the whole technical architecture, the big picture. Then, that plan gets handed off to a back-end developer agent to code the guts of the system, the core logic. At the same time, a front-end dev agent is building the part you actually see and click on. And then, bringing up the rear, you have a tester agent that makes sure the whole thing actually works. Each one a specialist with a very specific job.
And listen, this is not some simple Hello World project. The team was asked to build a complete account management system for a trading platform. We're talking creating accounts, handling deposits and withdrawals, tracking transactions, the whole shebang. And the really critical part, it needed serious error checking, to stop you from withdrawing money you don't actually have, and a user interface that a real person could use. So, the result? Get this, the entire application, the logic, the UI, the testing, it was all conceived, coded, and finished in about 5 minutes. And the craziest part? Not a single line of code was typed by a human. So that leads to the big question. How on earth is this even possible? What's the secret sauce that separates these agents from the AI assistants we're all getting used to?
Well, the answer really boils down to a huge difference in how they're designed. It's the difference between an assistant that answers you and an agent that acts for you. Okay, this slide breaks it down perfectly. Think about assistants, right? They work in a simple loop. You give them a prompt, they give you a response. You ask, they answer. They're basically passive. Agents, though? Totally different game. They operate on a goal-outcome framework. You give them an objective, and they proactively figure out the steps, grab the tools they need, and take action to get it done.
And all of this comes down to one really powerful idea. Agency. That's the key word here. It's the ability of the software to act on its own, to make its own choices and get things done within the rules you give it. Think of it like this. An assistant is a tool that you use. An agent is a worker that you delegate to. And that one shift is completely changing the game in business automation.
All right, let's zoom out from the code and look at how this is shaking things up in a real business setting. For years, companies have been using this thing called robotic process automation, or RPA. But what we're talking about now, agentic orchestration, it's a whole different league.
So the old way with RPA, it's just really brittle. Imagine you're trying to automate creating a sales quote. An RPA bot just follows a super rigid pre-programmed script. It expects perfect data in perfect little boxes. But what happens if a customer's info is buried in a PDF, or if an API changes just a tiny bit? The whole thing just breaks. It completely falls apart because it has zero ability to adapt.
Now, the new way is so much more intelligent. With agentic orchestration, a master agent just gets the goal. Hey, create a quote. It then basically deploys an army of agents to handle it. You've got one agent diving into the CRM to intelligently find the customer info, even if it's messy. You have other agents checking product compatibility, finance agents crunching the numbers and adding the legal fine print. They're all working together, collaborating, adapting to the data as they find it. And then a final agent puts it all together into a polished quote. It's flexible, it's resilient, and it's incredibly powerful.
And this massive jump in capability is exactly why we're seeing an absolute gold rush of investment and interest into agentic AI. I mean, the performance gains are just too massive to ignore.
Okay, take this for example. There's this super hard benchmark test called Humanity's Last Exam. It's designed to be incredibly tough for AI, so tough that even top models score under 10%. But here's the kicker. When you take one of those exact same models and you wrap it in an agentic workflow, you give it the power to plan, to use tools, to check its own work, that score suddenly skyrockets to over 25%. That's not just a little bump, that is a genuine breakthrough.
And it's not just us saying this. The heavy hitters in the field are all in. AI pioneer Andrew Ng, this guy's a legend, he said that he sees an unprecedented opportunity for businesses to create real, tangible value using these agentic workflows.
So this isn't some far-off research project anymore. It's a practical business revolution that's happening right now.
So how are businesses actually doing this? They're using a strategy called the AI-ROI flywheel. And it's pretty brilliant. You start small, right? You deploy an agentic project that's manageable. You use it to automate a task. And you show a clear, measurable return on investment. That success gets your bosses to open up the checkbook for more. That lets you tackle bigger, more impactful problems, which, of course, generates even more value. You just get that flywheel spinning faster and faster.
Okay, so let's pause for a second. If agents can build software, run complex business processes, and just blow the doors off performance benchmarks, it leads to a pretty massive question, right? What does this mean for the future of work? For the very structure of companies themselves?
This quote, this really puts the sheer scale of this change into focus. The idea of a billion-dollar company running almost entirely on a network of autonomous agents, that's moving from science fiction into something that's actually tangibly possible. We're not just talking about automating a few tasks here. We are talking about completely rethinking what an organization even is.
So, we've seen agents act as a team of software engineers. We've seen them act like an entire sales operations department. And right now, they're being designed to do things like conduct scientific research, diagnose medical issues, and even run experiments in physical labs. So the question I want to leave you with is this. As this technology just keeps getting better and better exponentially, what task will they master next?